My name is Vicki Ferguson. I'm the Vice President of Student Services and will serve as the moderator for this town hall. Please note that this town hall will be recorded or is being recorded, and there will be a question and answer period at the end. Please utilize the chat function to ask your question. The town hall recording will also be made available to you. The agenda is as follows. Welcome and agenda review. Moderator, Vicki Ferguson. Things to know. Highlight remote student support services. Questions and answers with key staff, faculty, and administrators. And closing remarks by Laney President, Dr. Tamil Gilkerson. Things to know. Spring 2020 classes. All classes begin again today, April 6, 2020, via remote delivery. This also includes late start classes. You can contact your instructors for information on learning platforms for lectures, labs. If you need help with different learning platforms such as Zoom and Canvas, staff and students are available to help you. Entities can include the Welcome Center staff as well as the Student Success Center. The information is listed on this slide on how to contact these offices for assistance. Things to know. If you need to drop a class or classes, students will be issued an excuse withdrawal known as EW. This will not affect your grade point average. Can you go back another slide? In fact, go back one more slide. Thank you. And then now, okay, proceed to the next slide. If you need to drop a class or classes, students will be issued an EW or excuse withdrawal. This will not affect your grade point average or academic progress probation status. In addition, this will not appear on your transcript. And you have a 1-year time limit to submit the EW form. To access the form, please visit the website listed. Excuse withdrawals could affect your financial aid if you drop below 12 units. Please contact the financial aid office prior to dropping classes to understand the impact. And currently, the district is not issuing refunds at this time. Next slide, please. Things to know. Additional class options. To retake a course, students can retake any attempted course in the previous grade will be disregarded due to the pandemic. Deadlines for pass, no pass grades. Deadline for selecting pass and no pass has been waived. More information is coming in further slides as it relates to the UC and CSU system. Probation or unsatisfactory progress. No pass grades will not be considered in probation or dismissal procedures. Next slide, please. Things to know. If you want to change your grading option. If you elect to change your grading option, definitely consult with the counselor. But students may elect to change from receiving a traditional letter grade of A, B, C, D, or F to a no pass option. Online counseling appointments can be scheduled by visiting laney.edu counseling offices. As well, if you are an EOPS, CARE, CalWORKS, or Next Up student, please visit their website as well to schedule a counseling appointment. In addition, your option may be students can elect to request an incomplete and create a contract with the instructor. Definitely check directly with your instructor on whether or not this is an option for you. Next slide, please. Things to know. UC and CSU announcements regarding transfer. UC and CSU have outlined system-wide measures to support transfer-bound students in relation to disruption caused by COVID-19 pandemic to the winter, spring, and summer 2020 courses. Please visit the websites below for specific information. Things to know. Some of these particular adjustments made by UC and CSU system includes temporarily suspending the cap on the number of transferable units with pass, no pass, Grading applied toward the minimum 60 semester units. In addition, suspending the letter grade requirement for A through G courses completed in winter, spring, and summer 2020 for all students, providing that there will be no recession of student admissions offers that result from students or schools missing official final transcript deadlines. CSU campuses will clear admission for upper division transfer applicants with 48 semester units who've completed English language and mathematics quantitative reasoning by start of fall 2020, including courses taken in summer 2020. I would like to introduce Gary Alberry, Director of Student Activities and Campus Life, who will share with us co-curricular activities and commencement.
Thank you, VP Ferguson. So official. Wow. So things to know. So as it relates to co-curricular activities and commencement, so student athletes will gain 1 year of play eligibility. And if you need further clarification on that, please reach out to our athletic director, John B. Tentative. So we're currently working on possibly looking at a virtual graduation. However, a survey was sent to all students soliciting your feedback. So please be sure to check your emails. And lastly, we will be planning a number of virtual student events and activities, including student government elections. So therefore, again, please check your emails and be on the lookout for additional announcements in regards to that. Thank you, VP.
Thank you, Director Alberry. Things to know, remote online student services webpage. You can access this webpage at laney.edu/online-student-services/. This is a website that offers student support services offered to you online and remotely. You can also access to a list of frequently asked questions, direct links to key student services and support being offered online, as well as additional resources. Next slide. Here you will find icons that represent support services departments, where you can find the most up-to-date information on how to access services remotely. More information will be added in order to have the most up-to-date information given to you. Things to know, remote services. Admissions and records forms are all now fillable PDFs. If you're having any issues with these forms, we will accept email as signature verification. All offices are maintaining regular virtual business hours, regularly checking emails and voicemails, where we will give you a response within 24 to 48 hours. Be sure to leave clear information, including your student identification number and how best to reach you if you are leaving a voice message. Friendly reminder, enrollment for summer and fall 2020 classes begin today, April 6th. Things to know. Online Student Support Services flyer. This flyer includes each student services department, hours of operation, and contact information by phone or email address. This flyer was shared through Laney College's Instagram and Facebook accounts. We have also included the link on this slide for future reference to this flyer. We will now go into our questions and answer period, followed by the closing. This will be moderated by Director Alberry.
Wow.
Thank you.
I think so. All right. So please type any questions that you may have for any of the presenters, and we will do our best to answer those questions for you. So feel free to use the chat box and we will answer some questions. I don't see any yet, so I guess everyone's prepared and ready for classes. All right, our first question. So will Peralta be submitting official transcripts at the end of the quarter? I'm gonna call on, if we can unmute Dean Mildred Lewis, I believe she's on the call, to answer that question. And while we're waiting for that, VP, I think you're unmuted. So a question that is here also is there any updates on the Chromebooks for students? How can students apply to receive one?
Can you hear me, Gary?
Yes.
Okay. The criteria for the Chromebook lending program is still in development. we should have some more information this week to get out to students.
Good.
Now, President, if you want to share any additional information.
You're muted. President.
So I'm happy to share some additional information. So first of all, transcripts will be available at the end of the semester once grades have been submitted and entered. Those don't automatically get transmitted, so most students need to request transcripts to be submitted to their transfer institutions. And so part of that, the only area where we do submit transcripts online is to our CSU East Bay partner, and believe that will be continuing to answer that question. The Chromebook lending program, the district has ordered Chromebooks that will be distributed out to the college's communities. And we should have more information about that very soon. And hopefully the PIO will be sending out information on that process in the next couple of weeks.
Perfect. And thank you, Dean Lewis. I see your response also in the chat box. All right. So another question that has come up is will there be summer classes this summer? So I think Dr. Bestikoff, he's on the call, if he wants to answer that.
Yes, good afternoon. There will be summer classes, and we will be running in our regular summer semester with classes beginning on June 15th. All of the classes for summer will be offered remotely, meaning that they will be available to be taken online.
Thank you. And can you also speak to current semester classes? One question is about current semester classes, what's going on, and if they're all being offered remotely.
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, classes did resume today, and they are being offered remotely. For those classes that have face-to-face lab requirements, we are looking right now, as the shelter in place is set to effectively end at the beginning of May. If those conditions continue, we are preparing the campus to resume and offer our lab portions of our courses at the beginning of May. For details on that, students are advised to contact their instructors directly.
Thank you. Another question in the chat box is asking, will these slides be on the student remote website? Yes, these slides will be available for students at the conclusion of the presentation. All right, so what is the date when graduation information will be decided? So we are currently exploring that now to see. The chances are we're most likely leaning towards a virtual graduation. However, you have my word, if you are a graduating student and you would like to come back and participate at one of our future ceremonies, you're more than welcome to do that. So that will be an option also. Another question is there any chance the semester will be extended? Dr. Bestikoff, did you want to answer that also? Or Tamil, President Gilkerson?
I'll go ahead and take that question. At this time, we are, as a rule, running our courses within the regular semester with the end date of May 22nd.
Okay, thank you. All right, so another question is, will there be any changes to grading systems? What student healthcare services are available remotely? I'm going to ask Dr. Gilkerson to chime in, and if you want to forward it to anyone.
Excellent. So we are continuing, as JP Schumacher, Dean Schumacher put in the chat, we are continuing health services, and those will be accessed offsite at the Roots Clinic, which is on 7272 MacArthur Boulevard in Oakland. And that's Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. So it will be general health services, nurse practitioner type of services that we were providing on our campus will be available there through that service. I'll ask, there'll be more information coming out, or I'll ask Dean Schumacher to put in additional information about mental health services as we're continuing to work with our mental health counselors to continue to provide support for that. And then wanted to make sure, Gary, what the other question was that you had passed to me. I apologize.
Let's go back. I'm sorry, I'm strolling through, so I kind of kept going. I know it's about health services and, gosh, I can't find it at the moment. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So another question is, Will these slides also be available outside of social media? Yes, we can also email them. Our PIO is also on the call, and she'll be sure to make note of sending the slides out.
So I want to remind students, again, that we really want for you to be checking your Peralta email address or forwarding your email address to your personal email if you're not using the college assigned email address. Oftentimes, this is how your faculty members are trying to get a hold of you, or important communications from the college or the district may be going out to you. There have been announcements that have been sent through the Laney Public Information Officer, Lorena Baldazzo, that gives you information about how to sign up for text messaging as well. So if you have particular questions, we want to make sure that you're getting that through those means. We also have everything posted on our website. So as you saw earlier, Vice President Ferguson providing you some information. When you go directly to the laney.edu webpage, it will open up with an information tab, and you can find a lot of news information. So any announcements have been sent out, and this will also be posted on the homepage. So we are trying to both email and send out things on social media and place them on our website so students have access to information in many different venues.
Thank you, President Gilkerson. All right, another question is about transcripts. How do a student actually request their transcripts via online platforms? And Dean Lewis?
Yes, I was responding to one of the students and texted back that you can go to the Admissions and Records website and request them through Laney Admissions and Records.
I think it's great we have all of our administrators who are actually answering a lot of the questions in the text box, so that's good. So another question is, can we have online tutoring to help us when we have questions? So VP Bestkoff, if you want to answer that.
Yes, thank you. Yes, there will be access to online tutoring, and just in the space of the weeks that we've been offline, our faculty, staff, and administrators have worked very diligently to put tutoring resources together for you that are available remotely. On the student frequently asked questions page, you will find links that will take you to those resources.
Thank you. So Rupinder, there's a question about technology. Will tutors and teaching assistants receive access to the campus faculty Zoom license? Or President
Yes,
Gilkerson.
I can take that. Yes, they will. Tutors and student assistants can receive Zoom Pro licenses.
Good. All right, thank you.
Gary, I remembered the question. I'm sorry, while you're searching through the other ones that didn't get answered before. Eden, I see your question in the chat about the grade, if they're going to be changed. So we will not automatically change students' grades. So students need to elect to make a grade change request. So students can elect to do pass, no pass if their courses allow it. And again, we want to really push and make sure that you're speaking with a counselor to make sure that you understand how that might impact anything for you moving forward. But we will not automatically change all grades to pass, no pass. Additionally, students can submit for an EW. If you want to withdraw from the class, you can fill out the form and also elect to do that withdraw. But faculty members, if you're having problems, can also, if students do not show back in class, issue the withdrawal.
Good. Thank you, President Gilkerson. Rupinder. There's another question about where do students access DSPS services? VP Ferguson or Dean Schumacher, if you want to speak to that.
I'll refer to Dean Schumacher. But if Dean Schumacher isn't on, you can actually go to the DSPS web services page, and I can provide you, that's actually on the frequently asked questions form as well, about how to access DSPS services. They do phone services as well as email, in addition to online counseling.
Also, I would say, just to add to that, refer to the flyer that VP Ferguson shared within the presentation of hours, as well as how to access a number of different services remotely. All right, so the next question is for Rupinder. Are there resources for discounted programs needed to complete CIS courses like Photoshop, Microsoft Word, etc.?
Yes, I can certainly take that. Actually, Adobe has offered to provide free Adobe Creative Cloud Suite till May 31st, and we have rolled that out through your instructors. So instructors that are teaching any of the courses that are either Photoshop or any of the Adobe products, we have asked them to give us the list of names of students that are needing this software, and we are rolling out the licenses. So please work with your instructor. If you are in need of an Adobe license, please get in touch with your instructor and we will enable that for you. For Microsoft Office, you may access Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and of course your email through the Office 365 student portal. So those are all available to you free of cost.
Thank you, Rupinder. So another question here, how will exams be conducted remotely? VP Bestkov.
Certainly. With the weeks that were lost since the beginning of March, we are making every effort to ensure that the time lost is accounted for and that classes are caught up with. So as a rule, the finals week that is coming will be used for regular instruction, which means you'll be meeting on your regular, you'll just be meeting regularly with a final activity that your instructor designates, be it an exam or some other form of grading. So just with that in mind, our final exam week, as a rule, will be treated essentially as a normal week of class with a culminating exam or other activity.
All right, so staying on you, I'm Rudy. Sorry, how can you tell us, or hello, can you tell us about summer 2020 classes? I know you've answered this, but just can you reiterate how summer 2020 classes will be conducted?
Certainly. Just given the challenges that we have in the current situation, the courses that we are offering will be entirely remote, meaning that either A, they will be offered online through our Canvas shell, or B, the faculty for the classes will have another way to deliver instruction to you, something that may be a bit more individualized to their teaching styles. So with that in mind, accessing the campus physically will not be a part of our summer, but we will be offering courses remotely, specifically online.
Thank you. There's a question around AC Transit, VP Ferguson. To continue getting the free Easy Pass for AC Transit, do I need to be enrolled in summer and fall 2020 at least 6 units or more?
Hi, thank you for the question. You do need to be enrolled. However, we are trying to advocate to reduce those units in order to access the Easy Pass. So you can definitely follow up with me at Laney Student Services at peralta.edu, and I'll work with you directly.
Thank you. So another question is around technology. Can you also explain what technology will be used to conduct testing while remotely? Is there a new platform? Is Zoom required for students to also have their camera on? So I'm not sure if VP Bestkov as well as President Gilkerson and Rupinder want to take that on.
So I answered in the chat. So thank you so much, Jeannie, for the question. So every faculty member is going to be working on a different way to decide how they're going to administer their finals or their tests. So you're really going to want to get the direct information directly from your faculty member about how they're planning to do those things. So I'd recommend checking in individually with each of them.
Sure, thank you. All right, so another question is around food pantry. Where can I connect to the food pantry that was once on campus? And I think I can take that on maybe, right? So we're currently exploring working with the Alameda Food Bank as well as the Oakland Rotary to possibly look at bringing that service back to campus. But due to the order that's come down from the governor, we're trying to be cautious in the way in which we kind of roll that out. So do look for more information that'll be coming out in the coming weeks. However, you can still visit the Alameda County Food Bank, who does offer food to students.
And I would just add to the second part of that question as well. It says, Mary Rose, you had said libraries aren't available. So I just wanted to be clear. Our library right now is available. All of our services are being offered remotely. You can chat with a librarian online. You can actually access a lot of our text or our services through the online platforms. But my sense is that you're asking about a question related to actually getting access to that. So again, we do not have, we were hoping to procure enough Chromebooks to be able to lend to students who are in need of them. So right now we do not have those yet. We hope to have different levels of those available in the next couple weeks, and information will go out to students on how best to apply.
Thank you, President Gilkerson. I think, unless someone is seeing another question in the box. Can the AC Transit Pass be refunded? VP Ferguson.
I am not aware of that. I can definitely follow up. Does any other administrator have any information on that?
Dean Lewis just commented in the chat, unfortunately, no,
Okay.
cannot be refunded.
So at this time, the district is not issuing refunds for enrollment fees or for any transportation, student fees, student health fees, any of those things at this time. If there are decisions made differently, announcements will certainly go out to students from the district.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Thanks, Dean Lewis. I think we've covered pretty much, unless they're still rolling in. But
They're
I think
still rolling in. They're still rolling in.
Yes, so there was a comment as it relates to AC Transit this year. Yes, so it is up this year for re-election, which will also be on the ballot for student elections this spring. So please, please make sure you're checking your email and you vote in this spring student elections, because that will be on the ballot. So what about the money that students paid for student parking for this semester? Will that be refundable, or how will that work? President Gilkerson.
So I was just trying to chat to you, Mark, in the chat feature. But I know, but going fast. You guys are great. So actually, those fees are also included in the ones that are at this time not being refunded. Certainly, the district is continuing to look at it and assess, so any announcements will come out.
Good, thank you. Rupinder, can you provide instructions on how do students actually forward their priority emails to their personal email?
We can certainly send out some instructions via our PIO. They actually do that in the passport system.
Okay, perfect. Yep. Right. So we'll
by
be
going
sure to get
to
that
their
in.
profile in their passport system.
Perfect, thank you. So are students able to change grading options to pass, no pass, and passport? Last week, students could not. So is that an option, VP Bestkoff or President Gilkerson?
Yes, I'd be glad to take that question. Yes, it is an option. Just to provide an update as well, and certainly we'll also defer to VP Ferguson for any additional information. As for those of you interested in transferring to a CSU campus, right now, as far as fall 2020 transfers, they announced that the CSU campuses will accept credit or pass grade for transferable college courses completed in winter, spring, or summer 2020 taken to satisfy on the clock. Basically, most transfer courses, including English language, oral communications, critical thinking, and math, other GE courses, and then also your major prerequisite courses. Also, as far as the UC is concerned, and I'm reading this straight off their announcement page, the UC has temporarily suspended its cap on pass, no pass units that are required to enroll in the UCs as a junior. Currently, the cap is at 14 units.
Perfect. Thank you, VP Bestkoff. So are there options, will opting for pass, no pass affect GPAs? Great question. VP Bestkoff, coming back to you.
No, it does not, neither positively nor negatively.
Thank you. So I think I don't see any more questions coming unless one of the other moderators, you actually see something.
We'll give students a couple more minutes to see if there's any additional questions in the chat that we can do. We'll also be following up with the questions and making sure that we provide some direction back to our student FAQs, or we beef them up, as we say, to add more information that isn't there. So we really want to make sure that you're accessing the remote student services page in order to get the most up-to-date information.
So a question that actually just came in, how do I register for summer and fall? I guess that would go with also, how do I meet with a counselor? If Dean Schumacher wants to answer that.
So you can meet with a counselor in two ways. You can go to our counseling website and you can meet with a counselor by using our ESAR system to schedule an appointment, or you can call our front desk for a phone appointment. What we're requesting is if you'd like to have a counselor meeting through Zoom, that you do that through our ESAR system. And then again, as we referenced in the at the beginning of the town hall, there's a link for all of our online resources. So you'd be able to get to our counseling website through there. And then also, if you don't have access to Zoom or a laptop and you just want to have your appointment via phone, then you can call our front desk, and then our front desk will be able to connect you with a counselor for a phone appointment.
Thank you, Dean. All right, so a question around, what about the money we pay for student access? I'm not sure what students mean by student access, but if VP Ferguson want to take that on, and any other administrator?
I think that was in regards to fees, student fees and so forth, an earlier comment. We totally, empathize and understand that this pandemic is affecting not only our community, but the entire world. But at this time, just want to reiterate, the district is not issuing refunds. And if anything changes, we will definitely update all of the entire student body in the campus community.
Thank you, VP Ferguson. So a question around transferring to CSU. How will transferring with a pass, no pass affect a student? If Dean Lewis or VP Bestkoff wants to answer that.
Yeah, I'll leave that to VP
Okay.
Bestkoff.
Thank you.
Clearly, the language that we've received from the UCs and the CSUs is that they are sympathetic to the situation, and for that reason are honoring the pass, no pass options. Now, of course, you should always check with the institution where you will be transferring for specifics, but at this time they are honoring the pass, no pass. And as previously mentioned, as you transfer in a pass, no pass during these semesters will not affect your GPA adversely or your admission to that institution.
Thank you. So there's a question around late start classes. So how will late start classes work, VP Bestkoff?
Thank you for the question. They will be working just as our full term classes, namely that they will end at the end of the term on May 22nd, and your instructors will be including activity and content that will essentially make up for the time period that was lost.
Thank you. It's like you're going out and in. I'm sorry. All right, so there's another question about gym classes. So how will students actually be graded on gym classes, courses that cannot be offered remotely?
So really have to commend our faculty as well as our deans and classified professionals during this time. Really with a number of our disciplines, we have worked very diligently to actually ensure that a great number of our classes will be able to be fulfilled, even if it is in remote fashion. With that in mind, I encourage you to reach out directly to your instructor to find out the status of your course and how it will proceed going forward. If you also, if you are not able to contact your instructor, really want to encourage you to reach out to our office. And if you'll permit me, I actually will share my screen for a brief second with the contact info, which will also be included as part of the FAQ. But you can see a direct email to the Office of Instruction, as well as a phone number that you can contact. And although we are remote, we do check those messages regularly, and you will receive a response promptly just regarding your courses. Additionally, we will be reaching out to instructors to let them know that students are contacting them. So truly, we are in this together, and we absolutely want to support you. And we may need to reshare the PowerPoint at this point.
Okay, so I think Nia's question also is, so how will late start classes work for spring and summer? Some classes started on 3/16. Will there be late start summer options as well?
For some of our classes, we are actually looking at potentially, and English as a second language is actually, or English to speakers of other language is an example. We are looking at running some courses longer than the 6-week term, but those are more the exception than the rule. Otherwise, we will be running for the regular term for summer, just as normal, with the exception being, of course, that the classes are offered remotely.
Thank you. Pete Bestkoff.
You're welcome.
I think those are all the questions I've seen. So there's a question that just came in. Have the course offerings for summer 2020 been posted yet? If so, where can students actually find that information?
Yes, they have been posted. If you go to where the schedule's posted, specifically with the district, you'll notice a link to our summer schedule, and it will take you directly to the searchable schedule, so you will be able to look up the classes you want and find out when and how they're offered.
Thank you. VP Ferguson, I think that's all the information.
So I think there was a question about how virtual graduation will work. And so Director Albury, do you want to answer that question for students?
Sure. We're currently looking at working with a company called Marching Orders, in which pretty much everyone across the country is looking to work with this company. And essentially what'll happen is it'll be online. So everything where students will be able to go access the website, they'll get the keynote speaker, they'll hear from the president, they'll hear from our board of trustees, as well as the student speaker. All this information will be online, and then you can go and search your name, your certificate, your degrees, everything will be accessible via this virtual website. The only thing is we won't have the stage, of course, for you to walk across, but you would still be able to get all your information on this online platform. In addition, you would still pick up your degree from our A&R office where you would receive your diploma covers. So that's how it's currently pending, that we're looking for it to work, but that may change.
So I wanted to also add, thank you so much for doing that, Director Albury. I wanted to just say, Nia, I see your question again about late start classes. So I apologize if we weren't clear. Notification has gone out to students that the late start classes that were starting 3/16 actually did not start until today. So students were notified because of the closure that we were not starting late start classes until today. If students are trying to add those courses, they can use the online forms, which actually we have in writable PDF, as I understand, and email signatures do work. So they should be working directly with admissions and records and with their faculty member to get any late add codes if those are needed.
Any other questions, Director Albury?
I do not see any more in the chat.
So
okay, well then I'll go to closing.
Yeah, so I really wanted to, first of all, just take a minute to thank everybody. And what I mean by thank everybody is just make a recognition of the fact that I know this is a really incredibly difficult time in our communities and worldwide. We are all grappling together with how best to sort of pivot really quickly to one, taking care of figuring out how we give the best services and support to you students, and how we also care for our own personal health and those of our family and loved ones, just like you are. And so we all really are calling on each other to have a modicum of sort of patience and understanding that we are really here to try our best to serve you in every way possible. And our very goal is to keep you in school and try our very, very best to continue providing outstanding, caring, student-centered support for you. And so we ask again that all of our services, and I want to give kudos to all of the faculty and classified professionals and the managers who've worked over the last several weeks to actually design and support these services. And so there may be things that we didn't see or things that might have fallen through the cracks. We want you to use these online resources to send the email or leave the voicemail message. We are getting back to people. So I want to guarantee and make sure that you know that we're here to do that as soon as possible. Ed, I do see your question in the chat. So we really are, students are being allowed access, very, very restricted access to campus if they need to pick up project things or things that they need. And you should be working directly, students should work directly with their faculty members who are working with their instructional deans to make those sort of arrangements. You know, with the stay in place order, our goal is to keep everybody safe. And really what they're telling us is to flatten the curve. We must stay away from being in public spaces and really implementing these social distancing guidelines that will hopefully keep us all safe. And so we're really trying our best to do that. So our counselors have appointments on Zoom. People are seeing each other. We will phone call students back as well. So it's really, really important that you see this. I also want to recognize that there are 10 million people who have basically applied for unemployment. It is changing the face of sort of what's happening in this country, and we understand that as well. And we really are trying as best as possible with the information that we have to try to provide the support that we can to students, and we'll be continuing to do that from today onwards. We've been doing it for the last several weeks, and so as information and money become available, we anticipate that there will be a large amount of money coming forward to the colleges to provide direct support to students who are impacted by COVID-19 through the federal government and the CARES Act. And so we'll be getting more information from the Department of Education about being able to help provide that information to students. So we really, really do want you to be checking your Peralta emails, staying connected, looking at the news announcements. I know it's a lot to read and take in, but we really want for you to be doing that. You know, there's also been if you're paying attention to what's going on in the community, and certainly we are proud to be an Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander serving institution. It's a federal designation, but we also serve a wide variety of communities here at Laney College, and we pride ourselves on being a diverse and inclusive environment. And so we stand together against hate and racism. We believe this is a virus in our communities, and we really believe that the answer for our communities is to really band together, to stay in school, to begin to educate ourselves on what's happening, to have the conversations we want to have. And so we'll be doing a lot of student activities, having conversations about things that are happening here. They're going to be happening in your classrooms. Your direct connection to us is through making sure that you're calling us if you need support, reaching out to your faculty members, sending those emails, and trying. And the hardest way, we're stronger together, even though we're apart. I know that's a really difficult sort of concept at times to understand, but I want you to know that we care deeply for you. We are dedicated to your success and the collective success of our communities, and I do believe we will get through this together. And so just remember that we are here for you. I want to take a minute to just really just say, we want you to keep going, right? That's our every goal. And so again, want to thank you all for your patience. We will send out more information. We'll send out and post this presentation, as well as update any of our frequently asked questions to add answers for questions that you've asked today. And we just really I want to thank on behalf of the college, you all for your patience. Be patient with yourself, take good care, be in good health and safety. And I want to thank the faculty, classified professionals, and administrators who've been working so hard to provide not only this town hall, but all of the services that are happening. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. So we will go ahead now and end the town hall. If we have a couple of questions that are here in the chat, a couple of the last ones, so I just want to try to address them as we have a couple more minutes left, is just to say, Paul Novak, I see your thing about the not having gotten an email notification about a Zoom class today. I would recommend reaching directly out to your faculty member on their Peralty email to ask for questions. If you have problems getting a hold of that faculty member, feel free to contact the division dean or the dean's office, and I'll ask somebody to put in the chat where they can get access to the division dean email addresses. Vice President Besikoff, if you could put that in the session as well. So again, any last questions? And if not, we will go ahead and end this town hall, and we look forward to seeing you both virtually, and I look forward to seeing you back here on campus when we're all safe enough to do so. Thank you so much.